ongoing consent decree. Ongoing consent decree that we are under with DeKalb County. So I want to welcome everybody here that has joined us to learn more about the project and the construction. You'll hear from several speakers. Next slide, please. I want to send greetings out to Commissioner Michelle On Spears, whose district this resides in, and Super District 6, who is Commissioner Ted Terry. I don't think we have either of those commissioners here, or do we have representation from their offices? So if they join, we may pause a minute to let them say a word or two, but other than that, we're going to keep rolling. Next slide, please. And so, as I mentioned, this is tonight's agenda. You're going to hear from a few speakers that are involved in the project, myself, Ms. Cassandra Marshall. You're going to hear from the construction managers, and they're going to tell you a little about the project and what to expect as the project moves forward and goes into construction. Next slide, please. So, a little bit about what we do on a daily basis. We are DeKalb County Watershed, water sewer. We send drinking water to your house and treat wastewater from your house. We do that. We bring water to your house via one plant and one plant only. That's the Scott Candler Water Plant located at the top of the county in Fulton Gwinnett line along the Chattahoochee River. We have two wastewater plants in the county that process wastewater in the county. That's the Pole Bridge and the Snapfinger wastewater plants, both located in South DeKalb. Those to the northern part, wastewater is treated via R.M. Clayton, which is in the city of Atlanta, and a small portion by Fulton County. We do this, we send water to your house through a series of network of pipes, over 5,000 miles of pipe, water, wastewater that we treat and are responsible for upkeep and maintaining. Next slide, please. The schematic you see is a typical layout of how the wastewater system works. You have the laterals at your house, which the little white caps you see. If you're cutting grass and you cut that little cap, please tell somebody, get a plumber, somebody to fix that. That lets rainwater into our system, which we call I&I. That takes up valuable wastewater space and it costs money for us to treat rainwater. And so in this slide, you see that you had a lateral that comes to the sewer main, which typically runs in the street in some cases. In this case, this project you see here, this sewer main actually runs under the street, through parking lots and everywhere else. So don't take it that it always runs in the street, because it don't. Next slide, please. So what are we aiming to do? We want to reduce the sewer overflows. In other words, we're going to stop the rainwater from getting in, which takes up valuable space. During heavy rainfall events, we experience spills, overflows, backups in buildings because of the rainwater getting into the system. And we want to improve customer service as well. That way, if you're not spilling, you ain't got to worry about calling us because everything's hunky-dory and good. Next slide, please. To help us with this project, we've engaged several consultants and contractors to include Ruby Collins, which is contractor. We got Arcadis, Jacobs, AECOM, and other firms, which are all consulting engineering firms to help us with this project. Next slide, please. I'm going to now turn this over to Ms. Cassandra Marshall, who is in charge of the project, the construction management of it. So her and her staff will tell you about the project, the construction, what to expect, how long, and contact information. So at this point, I'm going to be quiet and turn it over to Ms. Cassandra Marshall. Cassandra, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Kerry. Good evening. My name is Cassandra Marshall. I'm the Assistant Director of our Capital Improvement Projects for Watershed Management. So over the next few slides, I will be discussing our CIP program, the project scope, and what we plan to do to fix the problem at hand. Next slide. So what is a capital improvement project? It's a project that can help maintain or improve an asset. It can either be new construction or replacement of an existing infrastructure. So last year, the Board of Commissioners approved a $4.27 billion capital improvement plan for us watershed management that is for projects to be completed from 2025 to 2035. The Cliff Valley Sewer Improvement Project, Phase 1A, is within that budget, which is $28.5 million for that project. My team, the CIP team, is responsible for getting the work done. My team includes 4 DWM construction project managers and 12 licensed inspectors. Later in the presentation, you will hear from the DWM inspections managers for this project, which is Mr. Andre Martin, and the construction project manager, Mr. Bobby Kilpatrick. Both have over 25 years of construction experience. They're a licensed water professional, and they are erosion control certified. And as Carrie previously stated, along with in-house staff, we are supported by consulting firms. In this case, we have multiple firms who help assist with our construction management and inspections over this construction. So what we want you to know is we're here to help. We want to reduce or eliminate emergency repairs, stop spills, protect the environment. And finally, after this project is completed, it will improve sustainability to the system. Next slide. So I'll go a little bit into the project scope for the full project. Cliff Valley Sewer Improvement Project is a multi-year project that will span over the course of 3 years. We've broken up the project into 3 phases. Phase 1A is just the highlighted brown section. It includes the installation of 331 linear feet of 24-inch DIP by means of hand mining and tunneling. This is located behind Old Briarwood Road off I-85 near Northeast Expressway. Phase 1B will span approximately a year and a half. It is the highlighted blue/purplish line. That scope is going to last, again, 1.5 years. It includes the installation of 2,872 linear feet of 24-inch DIP by means of a tunnel boring machine and a small portion of 18-inch DIP by means of open cut. And lastly, phase 2, which is the highlighted red section, it includes the replacement of approximately 1,490 linear feet of existing 12-inch sanitary sewer pipe. This is located from Cliff Valley Way, running alongside the small tributary creek, crossing over Nob Hill Drive. And before we start each one of these new phases, the intent is for us to reach back out to the community as we engage in each one of the different phases and have a different community meeting that will focus on those scope of works. Next slide. And this is just a zoomed in location of the phase 1A scope. It again is just 331 linear feet of 21-inch DIP. This is located behind the Floor and Decor off of I-85. The work will be done by hand tunneling and inside a 60-inch casing pipe consisting of tunnel liner plates. Next slide. Next, you will hear from Mr. Andre Martin. He is the inspection supervisor for this project.
How you doing, everyone? Hope you're having a good meeting. My name is Andre Martin. I will be handling most of the inspections and any kind of, all of the inspections out here on this project. Me and my staff. Next slide, please. So what we are the boots on the ground. So once the contractor says they're ready to get to work, that's when my staff and the contracted work staff of the contractor get out there and we meet on a project and we decide how we're going to get to work, and that's when they bring machinery out. Fortunately for this section of the project, we shouldn't have much big machinery other than we have to dig 2 mine shafts pretty much to start the hand tunneling, but it won't be as intrusive as when we have heavy equipment out there. So as Cassandra stated earlier, we're going to have about 330 feet of hand tunneling, which we're going to be doing. And the first thing we do before we start that is make sure we have our erosion control measures in place, because we don't want anything to get into that creek that's running behind that Floor and Decor. Also, we want to make sure that the contractor understands the proper installation of the pipe that we are going to be doing, since they're going to be hand tunneling, it's going to be inside of a casing of a larger pipe, and then our sewer pipe is going to go inside that casing. Once we're out there and we got the contractors on site and our DWM staff was on site, we handle all of the customer complaints, issues, and try to make sure that everyone understands, like this community meeting, what's going on, and we answer any questions that any of the neighbors may have as they arise. We coordinate with the municipalities. I think it's going to be Brookhaven and maybe Chamblee that we get involved with, but we make sure that they understand what we're doing and we keep them in the loop as far as the progress that we make as we're progressing in this first phase of these project. And the main thing that we look at, that I look at to make sure that our staff is, we always ensure we have adequate safety measures, especially with this hand tunneling. So we want to make sure that everything is above board, OSHA certified, and we make sure that everyone has the proper PEE on site. And then we make sure everybody gets to go home safely. Next slide, please. As we stated, the methods of construction for this first phase is hand mining and tunneling. I know it sounds as extensive and hard as it sounds, and it is just truly that. We have a couple of crews of people, and they're actually digging this tunnel with their hands and hand mining and extracting the materials out, just like the old days when they made mines. So this is just a least intrusive way to get this section of the sewer line that we need to go in place. So when hand mining, they use manual extraction tools, hand tools, picks, shovels, and pans without the use of the heavy machinery, which I talked about before. We're probably going to have that when we do the open cut section. When you do hand mining, it's minimal environmental on the footprint compared to our large open cuts and excavations. This is labor intensive and it's physically demanding. So they're going to be rotating the guys out. So you don't have to worry about just one or two guys just being out there just trying to dig a massive tunnel over the next 4 or 5 months. They will be rotating those guys out. But this is also labor intrusive, and that's why it's a lower yield on the productivity as opposed to if we were just to bore it or do some other kind of method. But this was the best method they decided to use. And so this is the installation method that we're using for least amount of impact for this section. Next slide, please. Again, this is phase 1A. And our boots on the ground is gonna come around October 13th. That's when we should start. We're having this community meeting now here on September 18th. Final completion based on the daily output of the hand mining should be sometime around May 2026. And after we have that final completion, we'll be reaching back out to you all to have a second community meeting to decide and discuss how we're going to implement the second phase, 1B, which will probably start sometime May 2026 after we finish 1A. Total estimated completion time for 1A with the hand mining is about 6 months, give or take. But be looking for us to reach out to you guys and let you know when the second phase is coming as soon as we get done. Next slide, please. Now, once we start work, there's going to be a construction area that's probably going to be, it will be off limits to most of the people that are not on staff or not part of the work crew. But we always try to make things better than when we left it. So even though we're going to be underground hand mining, there will be some land disturbance activities up at the top. And we just want you to know that whatever we disturb prior to, we will restore better than when we leave. So you can see from the picture on the left, this is just a picture of a work zone, but when it's finished, the road is nice and complete, it's paved, and it's a lot better than what it looked when we were actually doing the work. So this is going to go for all 3 phases. No matter what it looks like before we start work, we are always going to make it better. We won't leave you out there with a half ragged road or just anything that's just out of order. We always try to make it better than we were when we got there. Next slide, please. And I would like to turn it over to our construction manager, Mr. Bobby Kilpatrick, and he can inform me about what's going on with the community.
Thank you, Mr. Andre Martin. Like Andre said, I am Bobby Kilpatrick, the construction project manager on this project. And on my slides, I will keep you, we'll be speaking about, keep you informed on what's going on during the construction phases. Next slide, please. So community awareness and what to expect. We'll have construction traffic, both foot traffic and vehicles. Now, our construction deliveries and parking will be in an area in the rear of Floor and Decor. And as far as safety and security, there will be noise increase, delineating construction zones. Every individual on this project will have a county issue badge, whether they're a county employee or a consultant. Our work hours will be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with high impact residential areas. We'll have environmental protection, construction entries and exits, and we will maintain dust control and dirt on the streets daily. Next slide, please. We will have construction yard signage that will be clearly and carefully placed to alert the community of streets affected by the construction. Contractors' vehicles will be marked with either a company logo or DeKalb County contractor sign. Next slide, please. Next, you will hear from Ms. Angelita Streeter. She will speak on public communications.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Angelita Strader, and I am the Public Outreach Specialist responsible for this project. Tonight, I will share with you the methods DWM will utilize to communicate with you about this project. But before I do that, I want to briefly recap what has occurred so far within the community. Our outreach team has engaged with residents in high-impact areas. Our construction and engineering teams have also worked with residents to obtain right of entry access to their properties as well. Next slide, please. Leading up to tonight's meeting, you may have received a notification letter describing the details of the project and informing you of tonight's meeting. Going forward, 48 to 72 hours before the beginning of construction, each homeowner will receive a door hanger like the one shown here, which will tell you the hours of work and what to expect during construction. We will also use email to communicate with you. If you have not done so already, please take a moment to provide your email address in the chat so that we can capture that information for future use. Next slide, please. These are touch points we will use to communicate. First, we have the project hotline, which includes a 1-800 number and email address. We also have a dedicated web page for the project, which will have tonight's presentation posted there, as well as other project information. We will use our Twitter and Facebook social media platforms to share updates on the project. We will also use news releases and the county's weekly newsletter entitled The Relay to share information as needed. Other ways we will connect with you include DCTV, which is DeKalb County Television, the Nextdoor platform, project signs, which will be posted in the upcoming weeks, our contractors, and frequently asked questions, which will be posted to the website. Next slide, please. We will have this presentation online for you to go to, and you can use these QR codes in order to reach our different social media platforms. Next slide, please. Listed here, you will find key contact information for the project. Most important is our dedicated project hotline and email address. Also listed here are the contact names of the engineering and construction team for the project. Finally, we have listed our 24-hour dispatch number if an emergency arises outside of normal business hours. And with that, this concludes our presentation. We thank you for your time this evening, and we will now move on to the question and answer period portion of the presentation. If you have questions, please put them in the chat.
All right, I think Kerry, who started the meeting, he had to step away. So I guess I'll give it a few more minutes before we adjourn, just in case anyone had any questions.
And Cassandra, I just captured one email in the chat, but no questions.
Okay, thank you. With that being said, I think we want to call it a day. Thank everyone for coming out. We appreciate your time to come and to listen to what we had to say. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.